Hey everyone, welcome to Inside Indiana Overtime. Alex McCarthy, Seth Tao, Assembly Hall for the first time this year is where we are, and we just watched Indiana begin its exhibition season with a 98-65 win over Hope. It was like half a second from being 100 to 65. But Curtis Jones just barely was a little too late on his layup at the buzzer. Yeah. But it was basically kind of what you expect from an exhibition, from a team's first exhibition, where Indiana early on was all out of sorts, turning the ball over, and I think Hope went up 14-7 at one point. Not that anybody was worried at all, but it was just kind of your typical slow start for a team that's adjusting to a lot of missing pieces and relying on a lot of kind of newer, more inexperienced pieces.
Right. I mean, this was the first Division I game action for a lot of the guys that saw the court tonight, and a lot of the first game action coming off injuries for a lot of these guys also.
Right. Technically, Hope is Division III, but it's the first live
Division
action
I team.
Yeah. It's the first live action, playing against an actual opponent for a lot of these guys, and they did fairly well. I mean, Juwan Morgan was the starting point guard, which is it's not really that much of a surprise. It's a surprise that he started there, but the fact that he was bringing the ball up, we've seen it a lot. Zach McRoberts started, so it was kind of an odd starting lineup that didn't include Robert Johnson or Josh Newkirk, which we'll get to in a little bit. But OG Anunoby was certainly one of the standouts. I guess there were two guys who really stood out on the box score, but Anunoby, especially kind of midway through the second half, really seemed to take control of this game.
Yeah, I mean, Anunoby was tied for the team lead in minutes with 27, and in all of those 27 minutes, Indiana basically operated through Anunoby.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it didn't necessarily show up in the assist column. He only had one actual assist, but he was kind of facilitating a little bit. You could see it. The minutes will increase as Tom Crean's not gonna sub as frequently as he did tonight when you hit regular season play, but you could already see he had a much increased floor presence. He had the ball in a lot more situations where last year he didn't have the ball in his hands, and it made a noticeable difference. He played really well tonight.
Yeah, he scored 16 points, 6 for 9 from the floor, 4 of 7 from beyond the arc, which is kind of attention-grabbing because there were a lot of points last year where he was able to step out and hit a three, but it wasn't really that reliable or really that big a part of his game.
And the fact that he shot 7, he attempted 7. Last year, there was only one game where he even attempted 3. He never attempted more than 4.
Yeah, and we've heard that's been a big off-season focus for him, and I guess he's starting to cash in on that. A pair of freshmen really stood out. Devontae Green was the leading scorer with 17 points. He scored, I think, 13 of them after halftime. Curtis Jones, we mentioned a little bit earlier, also played really well. Maybe didn't put up the numbers that Green did, but played serviceably well. I mean, for his first actual game.
I noticed they both looked pretty comfortable playing tonight. They didn't really have any jitters or anything. They were both just kind of loose, having fun, like a lot of the other guys, more experienced guys, were in an exhibition game.
Right. Which is, and we saw like hints of it. They both played fairly well in the Hoosiers series scrimmage and the Haunted Hall of Hoops scrimmage. Obviously, Green kind of stole the show in the Hoosiers series scrimmage, but usually, quite frankly, you don't put too much stock in how they perform against guys that they practice against every day. And again, you don't put a huge amount of stock in how they perform against Hope College, but I mean,
more stock than you put in a scrimmage.
Yeah, certainly. And there was poise, and they hit open shots, and they, like you said, they looked calm and confident out there.
It's becoming clear that Devontae Green is one of these guys that can score in bunches, and that's big for this team because as there are a lot of scorers, but I don't know if there's a ton of guys that can just get on quick rolls like Devontae Green.
Yeah,
has shown that they can.
Yeah, he was 7 for 9 tonight, 2 for 2 from beyond the arc. So efficient as well as explosive. And then Tom Crean talked a lot after the game about his trio of junior guards with James Blackman, Josh Newkirk, Robert Johnson, who all had very good statistical nights. Blackman had 15 points. Newkirk led everybody with 7 assists. And Johnson had an outrageous plus-minus. If IU's program spokesperson J.D. Campbell was correct in this. Indiana outscored Hope 60 to 16 with Johnson on the floor, and quick math says that's a plus 44, plus minus. So that's certainly impressive. And Johnson, he turned the ball over a little bit. He wasn't very efficient from beyond the arc. He was only 2 for 7. But the ball moved really well with him in there. I thought it moved really well with Newkirk in there as well. I thought he, both at the at Hoosiers area and tonight, the offense moved very quickly with Josh Newkirk in there. The ball moved up the court very quickly. So certainly a lot of reasons to like them statistically, but Tom Crean has been very vocal about wanting them to be more vocal and wanting them to be kind of better leaders and filling this void left by Yogi Ferrell and Nick Zeisloft and Max Bielfeldt and all of them. So that's apparently coming along slowly, and it's something that doesn't really happen overnight because these guys, all three of them, are not the most assertive and not the most vocal guys. But we'll see how that continues to develop. Indiana's back in action Saturday night at 7 against Bellarmine, a team that they only beat by 11 last year in an exhibition. So no slouch of a team. Pretty good program, always pretty decent down there in Louisville. We'll be here again, as we always are, providing coverage. But for now, we're going to get out of here. For Seth Tao, I'm Alex McCarthy. Have a good rest of your week, and we will see you Saturday.